Hello.
I'm so pumped to be here. Thank you so much, Ash. And yeah, hi, Shifter Magazine. I am good. I am focused, but a little overwhelmed. There's a lot going on. Obviously, the whole madness with the Super Bowl right now, and it's kind of become a whole global viral issue and thing. So I'm just trying to stay in a good focused headspace to understand, like, keep your eye on the prize of, like, this is, yes, about Super Bowl, but the wider issue is about the global mistreatment of dance artists that needs to stop. And so this is a great blessing in disguise of getting that out there.
Hey everybody, this is Ashley for Shifter Magazine, and you are turned into another installment of Shifter Interviews. Today I have a very special guest with me. She has a very long resume, honey. She is a certified, like literally a dance industry maven. She dances along the likes of Paris Goebel, Janelle Ginestra, you name it, she knows them. She's really talented too. And she's also a really, really good person. I'm really excited to be talking to Taja Riley today. Thank you, Taja. Hello.
I'm so pumped to be here. Thank you so much, Ash. And yeah, hi, Shifter Magazine.
Hello. Thank you so much for giving me your time today and coming on to the show. First and foremost, before anything, how are you today?
I am good. I am focused, but a little overwhelmed. There's a lot going on. Obviously, the whole madness with the Super Bowl right now, and it's kind of become a whole global viral issue and thing. So I'm just trying to stay in a good focused headspace to understand, like, keep your eye on the prize of, like, this is, yes, about Super Bowl, but the wider issue is about the global mistreatment of dance artists that needs to stop. And so this is a great blessing in disguise of getting that out there and an example to use. So yeah, just trying to stay focused to the goal.
Tunnel vision. I hear you. I hear you. So let's just dive right into it. You've been doing hella advocacy. Okay. A lot of advocacy for dance equity for dancers all around the world. You've literally taken this movement viral global. I really want to dive into the moves that you've been making within the movement a little bit. So I want to know where this all started first and foremost.
Okay. So it first started several years ago in experiencing or witnessing mistreatment of dance artists or myself as a dance artist, either in the behind the scenes process, the prior to the pre-development process of a production, or during, or even after post-production, where, we're not getting paid on time or at all. We're being shorted in our rates. We're not being given the opportunity to decide where our usage and likeness goes, which is a really, really big thing right now. And then overall documentation and credit to really build up more support, financial fortification, and support for, what it is that we do and what we actually were a part of and what we collaborated with other artists to accomplish. So I started this campaign this year called Slaymate, which is originally a concept and production that I had put together. I wanted it to represent the first equity production that would give choreographers royalties. And I wanted to take it to a space that allowed for you to purchase through subscription. That space happened to be OnlyFans because there was some controversy behind OnlyFans and the type of people that you would usually see doing content and it being explicit. And so people would probably never expect me to be like that. I'm more on the conservative side of things. So I wanted to present this as a shock art way to get them over to OnlyFans and start paying attention. And part of this campaign was to make people aware of the fact that I compare the way we're treated as dance artists, similar way that people treat prostitutes or people that sell themselves for money. And I think that, we are always exploited and taken advantage of. And I wanted to show that comparison because I feel like comparisons wake people up.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, you know, it kind of started with that. And then I started to see, okay, maybe there's not a lot of subscribers on OnlyFans. And I want to get this message out. So let me bring it over to Instagram. And what I found is people started to really chime in and support and share their insight, share their perspective based on seeing comments from me, quotables from me, videos from me. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of what developed it into a huge advocacy campaign. And then after doing Savage and Fenty this year, 2021 Savage and Fenty, I decided that I am done with being a powerless independent contractor, and I'm going to make the proper sacrifices so that this can get out to who needs to hear it. And, you know, I counted the cost, and I knew that in coming out about this and using tangible examples to raise awareness to this issue that we're having as dance artists, I know that that could have put me in jeopardy and at risk for, you know, jobs. So I wanted to basically say, listen, no matter if I work again or not, this cannot be acceptable. This cannot be normalized anymore.
Yeah.
And then, you know, this December, it grew into me wanting to research a grassroots project in but so many words. They were not welcoming my leadership and the pace that I wanted to go.
Why do you think that is? If I don't mind me asking, like, why do you think that is?
Well, I don't want to like punch down on like what they're doing, because I think that we all want the same things, mm-hmm. but I think their pace and them being kind of ill-equipped to take on some of the methods and approaches that I wanted to go after or take that route for. I don't think that it was in alignment with those people. And I feel like the best way to just even come at their defense is, you know, sometimes like you hear about these stories where a child gets left on someone's doorstep, like in a movie or something like that. And then some parent or somebody that wasn't a parent that wanted a kid, you know, takes that child, raises that child, and maybe it takes a village to raise that child. She gets their siblings or their aunts or uncles to like kind of chime in with it.
Yeah.
And it ends up being this baby that's getting raised by this collective unit of people that care about this baby. And basically what happened is that baby got to an age where it had potential, but it needed to be taken to the next level. And a manager came along or a label came along and said, I see the talent here. I see the potential here. Let me help you get to that next level. And then they're like, no. We'll just be momagers or dadagers, and we'll do it on our terms. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it on our terms, not on your terms, no matter what, but like if you have the best interest in mind. And so I think that in this long fable story, whatever, that's kind of the relationship I feel that the lasting surviving members of Dancers Alliance had with Dancers Alliance, because they were not the founding members.
Yeah.
And, you know, me playing that role of the label or the manager that sees that talent, sees that potential, but know that there is more that has to be done. I came to them and I raised money in hopes that, you know, they would be approving of my leadership and integration of my leadership, and knowing that I'm willing to do the work by the outreach that I did in that first week. I was contacting 60 to 125 people through Instagram per day as dance artists to find out insight, because if this is a for community by community organization or project, you need to be reaching out to the community every step of the way, alerting them, letting them know what can be done or what steps we're going to take. And that's what I wanted to do. I put together a consensus report. I put together a SWOT report, which is a situational assessment. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I feel like what I was met with didn't sit right with me. And I kind of had that, like, that's so Raven moment where I was like seeing into the future, and I was like, I feel like this is going to be an ongoing problem. Even if I were to get their approval and step in and lead, I was going to be met with conflict or tension or bad energy along the way. And
that was literally like what I was about to say. Like, I'm pretty sure, I feel like as someone who, when you're somebody who wants to see change, and when you're somebody who wants to evoke change, you don't question that feeling. I love how you said that. You just like, you didn't like what you saw. You didn't like how it sat with you. And like, I appreciate that boldness, and everyone can appreciate that boldness, honestly, because it takes a lot to do that. So you've clearly taken so many steps to spread awareness and to spread this message. Another way that I know that you're going to be like spreading this message is through Taj TV, which is, from my knowledge, which is basically a broadcasted television network dedicated to dancers, all of things about dance, issues, politics, all of that. So please tell us more about Taj TV. I'm pretty excited for that.
So Taj TV is the continued evolution of what happened after the whole interesting development, or I guess pivot away from the resurgence of Dancers Alliance. It turned into the resurgence of the global dance industry. And when I got the feedback from dance artists around the world, I heard two things: that they appreciated, that it was way worse where they were, in the state of the industry, of how they are taken advantage of or mistreated. And then I also heard that in these few years, what they benefited from the most was my advocacy posts and what I had to say about it.
Yeah. And
so that got me thinking, like, well, this 15K goal isn't going to cut it for the global industry. So we have to navigate how we can utilize these funds. And with me becoming a director, a screenwriter, and executive producer of putting shows together, I decided, well, I'll just turn this into a startup for a show. And then that's when I wrote Taj TV. I developed it in that second week of the GoFundMe. I had finished the deck and investment deck and the creative deck, and started talking to people. And basically, Taj TV is a hybrid production broadcasted program, half TV talk show, half variety hour series, maybe with a quiet echo that could like lead down the line towards it actually being a channel of its own. But right now we're gonna reduce it down to a 1 hour program. And basically that main thread is very similar to how I looked at the Oprah show growing up, where it was such a major influence for me and classroom for me. The perfect tie between, a reporter and a journalist, and somebody that is a thought leader and wants to help solve some of these issues that seem to be on the ground in the trenches of the regional, national, or even global community. And discussing that, bringing awareness to that, and it not being so much about the celebrity clout guests that you have appear on the show, even though they did have those types of appearances. It wasn't focused on that. And so I wanted to take that inspiration of Oprah, because we're all inspired by Oprah. And I wanted to tie that in with my roots, how I feel from a dance artist perspective of different things that I think should be mainstream and not niche, support to dance artists. And so, yeah, like the talk show involves an interview by 3 different guests, and then intermittently it gets interrupted by other mini segments that I've created.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, it's fun times.
I can imagine, honestly, with like all the dancers and everyone that are going to be on set. Can you divulge like where is the content going to be aired? If you can.
Well, I can't divulge where the content is going to be aired.
I tried.
Active negotiations, but I can divulge where it is mainly going to be filmed. And I am actually on my way to a viewing today for our very first, possibly very first in the world's dance advocacy headquarters. And it just makes me super proud to say we're just one step closer. Whatever comes of this, if I like the space, if I don't like the space, whatnot. I'm just really excited to be on this journey of like possibly making a difference for dance artists forever. I mean, I'm pretty sure that a lot of dance artists can relate to the fact that, when you think about multiplying as like, having a child, you think about your child discovering the gift of dance.
Yeah.
I think for me, that's what I think about because it's so close to my heart. So I'm pretty sure whoever comes out of me is gonna really love moving their body. So, I want to be able to protect my child, before protect that. And then to, elevate my legacy, expand the legacy of other dance artists so that they can be proud and confident and feel understand and experience the idea of generational wealth. And that's amazing because I feel like we are stuck in a generational curse right now, and we really need to detach from it. And there's a lot of work to be done. And I know I can't do it all by myself. So
absolutely. Community is very, very, very much needed. And I really feel like dance is such a sacred, for me, at least personally, I feel like it's a very sacred practice. Like, I feel like the emotions that are put into a dance routine, like even talking about it, because I used to do contemporary back in the day. I did a little bit of like jazz and stuff like that. And I'm just naturally a really emotional person. So it's
a perfect sport. It's the perfect sport. It's
exactly
like perfect hybrid of art and athleticism.
Exactly. And it pisses me off when people say dancers aren't athletes, because yes, they are. We are. Okay. The amount of time that we have to put into it's a full body workout every single time. It's amazing. So it's really interesting to hear about all the work that you're doing. And it gives a lot of insight as to the realities of the industry and the realities that take place, especially even for me. Like, I'm listening to you and I'm learning because I never would have thought. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I never would have thought. And I was obviously creeping your Instagram as usual. And I watched your recent live yesterday. You posted it yesterday? Yeah. You got off the phone with, I even remember her name, Janie Lynch from SAG-AFTRA. And honestly, seeing that live made me smile a lot. It made me smile. There's really force in numbers, man. Like,
I cried off the phone. I was literally like,
yeah, like I can imagine. I really can. Like, I was watching and I was smiling. I was like, yes, that's what happens when there's force in numbers, when you bring people together. Like, one man's problem is probably the whole world's problem. You know what I mean? No matter what it is. So like, seeing that made me happy. I'm really happy. And please tell the viewers about what happened after that call. Like, tell us about this.
And I'll preface it, like, I'll start it by saying that I've always had a disdain for politics. Like, really, like, in doing the frontline worker stuff. Like, that's why I was like, you know what? Social media, digital media, performative media is where I know I can help, and I feel like for me, I look at other dance artists and put myself in their shoes too, in the reasons why they may not, go to SAG-AFTRA in person or attend all these different meetings or hearings or become a board member. It's because that's not our passion, and we shouldn't be forced to do that, And so my thought towards, people that are taking this method of begging a union or begging a label or begging an agency to see you or appreciate you, I feel like there's an alternative way to do it. Yeah, you can do that if you feel passionate and you have the time, but this is the issue. We don't have the time as dance artists, and we don't have the affordability to just sit around and, wait for the next meeting or the hearing to attend and take time out of us being able to make a check, because we're living check to check. So for me, it's like about reeling them in. They should be the ones reaching out to us. Okay, so how was the job? Okay, so how did it go? Let me know, or shoot me an email. And, we can hop on a call so I can share what is being said, and then take it to the people that need to hear about it during the next hearing. That's the reason why I paid $3,000 in dues for SAG-AFTRA. It's $3,000. That $3,000 should be spent in not only protecting me, but being able to have a relationship with me as a member, to make sure that I am being heard, to make sure this is the same thing that happens with the council, with legislation. Like, these politicians do reach out to us and do tell us to make the calls. We don't have to be at every meeting. We don't have to boycott or protest in order to see things done. It's a simple phone call. Yeah. And so it was just really rewarding to me and amazing to get on the phone with her and just say, hey, listen, like, the reason why I've never reached out in this way without going through my agent is because in the past I've been ignored or avoided in receiving a call. And when I first talked about the advocacy and I was tagging SAG-AFTRA, nobody was listening then. Now this is on you if you don't do something about it. And, Janae is also, she comes from, a dance background. So she truly does care and wants to be able to, redefine the position of members that are part of SAG-AFTRA that are in charge of representing us. And so, she gave me her direct office line because I want to continue global advocacy. And this should go past a regional or national level. This should be on a global scale, like something that is being amplified. And discussed and changed. And I also believe that outside of just the idea of the union job, there needs to be support for the non-union jobs too, until all jobs are with the union. And until we have like a union that specifically focuses and caters their attention to us. So, for me right now, yes, the alignment, for having that alliance with dancers, the SAG-AFTRA and dance department representation, that alignment is great right now. But beyond this, the forward movement of having them as an ally is really about having a backbone for even non-union gigs. Because, some of these issues right now in new media, a majority of these jobs are non-union. And that's why
majority are through the DMs, to be honest.
Majority are in the DMs.
Yeah, they're in the DMs, like
in the text messages.
In the text, yeah, like literally. So you're right. Like there's no real protection for dancers. Because my next question was, what SAG-AFTRA who do they initially protect? I know there's a clause for dancers in there. I know you stated that in your live when I listened to it, but initially, is it more just artists, actresses, actors?
Actresses.
Actors.
People that are considered actresses, they don't consider us actresses, but as soon as we step on my screen, we are movement actors and actresses. Yep. And so, you know, it's really the mindset, not perpetuating this same mindset.
Yeah.
Having an evolutionary mindset to these issues. And, you know, I feel that they have prioritized the protection and representation of actors and actresses and have not tried to dive in to the information when it regards the consideration of dance artists. And so that's kind of where I'm getting them to be like, hey.
Yeah, we're here. Like, we're all these things in one, pretty much. Yeah, no, yep. Yeah, yep. Pretty much.
Pretty much. I'm here and I'm home and I would like to have my feet rubbed. Like, it's, you know, it's my opportunity and every dance artist's opportunity to really make this change while we have the window now. We have everybody looking at us. Now is the time to say, case in point.
Exactly.
Super Bowl, just one example. Mm-hmm. Here's how things are going to go now. You know, call your agents. Here's how things are going to go now. I did not like what happened with the Super Bowl. I do not support if you were part of that. If you weren't a part of that, you know, I want to be a part of change. And how can you help me be a part of change in the future? What kind of information can I get to you so that you can properly represent me and execute your tasks as an agent with my well-being in mind, not your well-being in mind, because an agent is supposed to be a serving business. Yes, for profit, but you're supposed to serve your clients. You're supposed to serve who you represent. Absolutely. You're supposed to serve your signed talent, and it should all be under one umbrella, like the best, you know? So yeah, I hope I can inspire dance artists to jump on up, make that call, create that worksheet, create that, you know, footnotes of these are the kind of jobs I want to do this year. This is the kind of rate that I want. And I would honor these bump ups, you know, like maybe there is something that my advocacy group can do to put together a worksheet for dance artists in the future so that when they sign to their agency, they fill out this survey and boom, 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 boom.
I literally was reading a quote yesterday. It's like, it said, don't bring up the problem basically if you're not willing to provide a solution. Don't complain about it if you're not willing to do anything to change. I was tired of not seeing girls who look like me on TV. So I started my own media company so I could be able to do that. Yes. That's all. I'm just going to put
here's our face.
Exactly. Here we are, you know, natural hair braids and all, like, you know what I mean? It's just essential. Everything starts from the root, and it's essential to just spread and do what makes you happy and spread love about what you care about. And I'm a really corny person. I'm sorry. Like, I'm so corny. Okay. I'm so corny, but honestly, truly, I'm very enlightened by what you're doing. It's even motivating for me because sometimes I get scared and I don't feel like it's the right time to speak up on things that matter. But seeing you and countless others like you do that makes me want to, you know, like get up, like, you know what? I'm not accepting the things that I cannot change anymore. I'm changing what I can accept. Word to Angela Davis. So thank you so much, Taja. We are out of time. Unfortunately, I really like talking to you. I love hearing you talk. Great storyteller. You explain things so eloquently. I like hearing you talk.
I try my best. Still learning.
Yeah, no problem. You're doing a great job. But it's been a pleasure speaking to you. I know you said in the beginning you're feeling overwhelmed. Honey, please take care of your mental health.
Yes.
Please stay prayed up.
Yes.
Because you are literally you're revolutionary right now. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem at all. Again, this is Ashley for Shifter Magazine, speaking with Taja Riley. It has been a very, very big pleasure. Have a good rest of your day, darling.
Thank you. Bye.